Look at this hair.
From glittering heights to
Yeah, I feel like I'm
humble
done.
streets, we find the fabulous in every beat. Let's talk fabulous. Oh yes, we can live in dreams, learning to thrive.
Right?
Hand in hand, join us together, exploring our fabulous lives. It's time, let's talk.
Oh, well, I messed up. Hello, hello, hello. As it said, let's talk fabulous. This is Barbara J. Beckley, your host for today. And guess what? We're going to talk about my favorite subject, love beyond words. Showing up with compassion. Showing up with compassion. So we have a wonderful panelist, and we're going to be coming right back with them. We'll be right back. Ta-da, ta-da. Oh, I hear some music in the background. That's good. We already start with some dancing. But anyway, we're back. We are back. And as always, I just love, love, love being a host of Let's Talk Fab because I get to sit for 56 minutes with some cool queen friends that I always come and say, can you come on with me? And they say, oh, they always say yes to me. So that's an honor for me, for them to always say that. Because I always tell people time is of the essence. And they're taking the time out to share the love. Got it? I know. And we're doing a lot of that through there. The love and the compassion that they have, not for only themselves in their own lives, but for people that they touch. So before we even get started, you got to know who these queens are. So we're going to go right and jump into it. And we're going to start with the first queen at the top. If I say her name, I'm kind of introducing her, so I'm going to let her do it.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm Barbara Ellison, and I live near in the Chicagoland area, and I am so excited to be here. This is such a needed subject, such a needed subject. So thanks for bringing it to the forefront.
Next queen.
Hi, I'm Raquel, your GPS for success, and also out of the Chicagoland area. I'm so excited to be here with all of you today.
Hi, everyone. I am Sasha Walton, coming from Virginia. It's cold weather's here, but I am showing up with compassion and ready to talk about the word love with everyone today.
And I am Love. So I am right here to talk all about it with you all. Thank you.
So, Miss Karen, can you repeat that? Because you were on mute just for a little bit. And I want to make sure they get your whole name.
Well, I'm Karen Rudolph. I'm from Sarasota, Florida, and I am Love. So I'm here to participate in this conversation. So I love to be here. Thank you.
Well, she said the right thing. She said she is love. And we are here to talk about that. So with that, one thing I want to get into before we start is this month is, and a lot of people might know what this month's about. I mean, there's other different things. I call it the Love Month, but it's also Black History Month. So before we get into it, we have a special video to show about the first start of people that created some wonderful things in this world that are of the African American history, Black History Month. So we want to give them some kudos here, and then we'll be right back. So I think everybody got their history lesson. I know I did when I put that video together. And I was like, wow, it reminded me how they all started with compassion. They did. Each and every person that you've seen on that screen, from Dr. Martin Luther King to, Haiti McDaniels. A lot of people were like, who's that? I said, she was the first person to win that award, the Grammy Award, back in like 1920 or something. I mean, it was a long time ago. And some other, greats that's been in the history. And we can make our history too with that. So it just doesn't stop with them. Those were the pioneers. We need to move forth in that. We need to, and that's where that love comes from. And I'm so glad that we were able to talk a little bit about, Black history today and talking about love, because it all comes together in all shapes and sizes and colors.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And when you can come together and collaborate together and then show that compassion that we have for each other, that's when you can make changes in life. That's when you can really make changes in life. So that's what we're talking about. Love beyond words and the compassion of it. I like how they go together. So we're going to go right into it, because our queens right here, they have a lot to say, and I want them to have their part on that. But we're going to start with Miss Sasha and see what she has to say about love beyond words.
Hi, I'm Sasha Walton, and I want to talk to you about the word love. It is a noun and a verb. It is an emotion that you feel, but it's also an emotion and actions that can take place out of your heart, out of the things that you do. And without it, it's all chaos. See, in order to really experience so much love in your life, you have to give love. You have to have a place of love and a heart-centered action towards everything that you're doing, whether it's with your family, your friends, your loved ones, your spouses, your significant others, your job, your craft, your business. When you're working with people, having love to flow through is so powerful, and it is the thing that heals, it mends, it excites, it is everything. So my challenge for you today is to walk out in everything through love, no matter what. Walk out through love and see how love return back to you.
Oh, see, does everybody got their tissue? I forgot to mention that at the beginning. This is going to be one of those, we're going to be crying in some places. Sasha, that's why I'm so glad you were able to make it today. Wow. Let me put you in the middle and expound on that a little bit more.
Hi, everybody. I'm so glad I was able to make it too. Please forgive me. I came down with something while I was away. But yeah, love is everything. And as a person that really serves, I serve first from my heart. I serve as a heart-centered person. I'm working with people and everything that we're doing as far as helping them with business. And I feel like when you're operating from that place, it is that mixture between compassion and passion. You are self-driven, you're driven through the passion, but a compassion part of you says, hey, you know what, I am ready to help the next person to leap into a world beyond what they could ever think of. And I feel like whenever we are operating within that scope of ourselves, that's how we can really have so much more to come back to us, because we're leading with that. We're leading with love. And as I mentioned, without it, it is chaos. Love is one of the strongest emotions. If we're looking at it from an emotional state, it is one of the strongest emotions, just like it is with hate. So it's best to have love, because that is the part that just continues to spread positivity throughout everywhere, throughout each person, throughout the world, and so forth. So that's why that word love means so much to me.
Yes. Oh, I love it. And I was just thinking as you were talking about the compassion, Sasha, that's what makes the movements happen in the world. And I'm not just talking about a movement like, big movements, but just little small ones in your own life. When you have that love and compassion, that's what makes you say, you know what, no matter what, I have a love for this. I have compassion for myself, for other people. And that's what makes you move in that category. So I'm so glad that you mentioned that. Anybody else want to add on for what Sasha was talking about?
Yes, what came to mind for
Okay.
me was when she was talking about compassion, was that compassion is a necessary ingredient for miracles. So if you're looking for miracles in your life, love, yes, is the foundation, and compassion, that is actually going to activate miracles, not only in your life, but in the lives of other people as well.
Yeah.
And for me, one of the things is, compassion. I think when we can be curious about having compassion, then be curious about the other person, of what they're going through, and rather than certainty, because I think curiosity can open doors that certainty will slam in the face of somebody else. So if you can be curious and from that space of compassion, of what's going on in their life, rather than reacting to maybe somehow they were.
Yeah. Also, if I may, I found when I was looking for something outside of myself, I had all this trauma going on and challenges going on at one point. And what I found for myself when I was studying world religion in that space, the one common thread that keeps us all together is compassion. Every religion has their form of compassion. And I thought that was fascinating, because that to me is what creates the magic, for sure.
Right.
Ooh, creating the magic. I love it. Yes, and we're creating some magic right here. I see some wonderful comments coming in. We got to give the love to people that are watching us, right? Because they're part of the show. I always tell people that come in and watch, you are part of the show, because you can put your tips there. You can put your experience regarding love beyond words, what you're passionate about. Please share with us, because this is how we all learn. And like Tamara L. Hunter said, the Queen Bee, I always call her, the mic drops that we get. So anybody else real quickly before we move forward, because we have a wonderful video that I want to play, and basically it's talking about this is love. So we'll be right back.
This is love. You belong here. Right here. Right now. Love is the moment you feel seen, sharing what you mean. It's a quiet that feels like home. You feel held wherever you roam. It's a breath that fills your chest, a shining light that brings you rest. This is love, a heart open wide and steady. This is love, meeting you where you're ready. Gentle hands, open and true. This is love, oh, this is love. Love is a space that lets you grow as you are, wherever you go. It's a kindness, warm and sure, and a welcome that endures. It's a voice that says you belong here, unknown and felt when hearts are clear. This is love, living here in the moment. This is love, holding grace as a promise, here and now, clear and bright. This is love, oh, this is love, this is love. Love is patient, love is kind. It sees the soul before the mind. It stays present, it stays true. Love is alive in me and you. This is love, soft and strong together. This is love, binding hearts forever. Open eyes, open view. This is love, this is love. love.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So let's show some love to Mrs. Tamara L. Hunter. She's the one that creates the videos and the songs for this particular show and a lot more. So thank you, Queen Bee, for producing another wonderful song. This is Love, and that was a lovely song. And I'm going to have to have that on my playlist. Now I'm thinking about it. That has to be on my playlist. Oh my God. So with that said, wonderful people here, I just got to check in with everybody that's watching us. We have Steampunk Poe in the house. Oh my God. He's one of my mentors. Love him, love him, love him. Who else is commenting? I love the comments that are coming in. Yes, yes. Happy Sunday. Oh, Kim O'Neill, the other she's our other host. He said beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. Steampunk Poe, very beautiful. So with that, we're going to keep it moving here because we still got a lot to talk about and some wonderful, we want to share the love. Hint, hint. See, I keep doing that with you guys. We're going to go to our other wonderful queen panelist, Karen, and we're going to hear a little bit about what she has to talk about Love Beyond Words, and we'll be right back.
Hi there, I'm Karen Word of, and in a world that feels divided when the nervous system definitely wants certainty and love asks for something deeper, presence, empathy, and grounded kindness, even when perspectives differ. This is a heart of the Let's Talk Fabulous show. Love Beyond Words, showing up with compassion in a divided world. If you're feeling tension lately in a conversation, whether it be online, even at the dinner table, you're not alone. And love, real love, isn't always agreement. It's how we show up with compassion. And even when our perspectives differ. So consider love, L.O.V.E. O, observe without judgment. V, value what's true. E, evolve from within. And if you're ready to embody this in your relationships and leadership, and be a part of that conversation.
Oh, I just love Karen. Okay, Queen Karen, I'm going to put you in the middle. And can you do me a favor? I love the acronym that you use. Can you repeat that for us? Because I know people want to write that down.
Absolutely, because it's something that's really near and dear to my heart. L.O.V.E. So L is for lead with presence. Lead yourself with compassion. It always begins and ends with self. Observe. O is observe without judgment. Right? Get out of your head, stay in your heart. V is value what is true for you, right? Stop listening to everybody else. Be your authentic self. And E, evolve from within. The more you know yourself, the more you'll know others. Compassion for self.
Yes. And I love that. Thank you for repeating that because I had to write it down myself. I'm sitting there like scratching it out, write it down, right? Oh, wait a minute. I think I need to put this here.
Absolutely.
I love playing with those videos. So we need to write that down. And I was going to ask you one thing you mentioned real quickly before we get to the other wonderful panelists here, if they have anything to add, is I like when you mention about even if you and that other person is not on the same page with some things, and that can be in any area of our lives, right? But you still show the compassion because you're still saying, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I care about you. So I want to hear what you have to say. Even if I don't agree with you 100% or whatever, I still have the compassion to hear what you have to say. So thank you for making that point.
Yeah, it's also in a space, Barbara, where we can agree to disagree and still not have to be quote unquote right. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about living your own personal truth. And that's showing compassion for self. And then it's also acknowledging the compassion and acknowledging others, especially in a world where we're servants for others.
definitely serving for others. So anybody else want to chime in with Karen's wonderful, I love the concept. Barbara.
I loved what Karen said was that you don't always have to agree with everyone. I think one of the biggest things, you just have to be willing to keep listening. Because eventually, one of the courses that I took, the premise was that in every conversation, there's the major person and then there's the lesser person who's trying to make their point, but they're 10% right. And you might not be agreeing with them, but you have to be willing to keep listening to until you find that one common thread that, oh, we can agree on that. We might not agree on anything else, but we can agree on one thing. So just keep listening.
Yes, yes. Anybody else want to chime in? If not, I'm gonna put you in the middle anyway. Aha.
Yeah, I would like to. I would like to.
Oh, go ahead, Sasha. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I love with the first letter L. You said lead with compassion, lead with being present, and I immediately thought about John Maxwell did the servant leader, and when you are leading as a servant and have a servant's heart, it's easy for you to really put that compassion first and to put others before you. So even if you agree to disagree, or you're taking that time to really listen to other people and what they have to say, it's not putting you in I'm a greater or I'm a lesser role, but it's leveling the playing field, saying that we all have a voice, we all have a mind, we all have something to give. And whenever you could allow someone else to take that space, you're allowing them to lead by what they're sharing, by what they're doing, and while you're observing, while you're listening. And then when we do that for each other, that's where, like somebody Karen said before, that's where the magic happens. And that's where you can see it just overflow to each other. So that's all I want to add.
Oh, that's a lot good to add. Good stuff. Anybody else? I want to make sure everybody gets in this.
Yeah, for me, what came up for me was when she was talking about observe without judgment. And our brain, I mean, it goes there. It has to judge because it has to put it yes, no, maybe, put it somewhere, right?
Mhm.
So our brain is doing that. But it's like taking a sacred pause because we don't have all the information yet. And if we would just say, okay, let me just lean into observing without judgment at first, being compassionate, listening, connecting with the person, and then deciding where that goes in your brain and in your heart, that's going to show compassion for yourself and, seeding for you, and also in that relationship and with other people, because oftentimes we don't have the whole thing. And we're making these quick, decisions. We call them judgments because that's how we're trained to do things. But we miss out when we do that. And we miss out on connections, and we can miss out on great opportunities with that person and other people if we're too quick, if we don't take a sacred pause to just observe first.
Absolutely. If I can just tack on to that, if I may. Brilliant. And yes, when I say lead with presence, it means being in this present moment, not the past, not coming from a past-based conversation, because that will take you immediately out of a compassionate heart. And when you're coming from that space of love, true love, you want to be in the present moment, listen from the present, be in the present, be in the now.
I'm going to put the hearts. This is about love. So you're going to see a lot of this, people. I don't care. We're going to put this love out until you just be like, okay, I got it, Barbara. But one thing I love that you all talked about, again, listening to that person, even if you're not like, I don't get what they're talking about. What are they talking about? Because when you really open up your heart and show that compassion, you might find some things in an individual that might be some hurting going on or something that they need. And if you shut them down too quick, you'll miss out. And the reason why I'm saying it, and I mentioned this at another Let's Talk Fab, where I ran into two people, and it was like a month ago. And I was just like loving on them and say, you're all wonderful, because I always do that. You're the queens, all that stuff. And they're like, don't call me a queen no more. And don't talk about love. And I was like, whoa. I said, what did I do? I was like, these are the hip side. What? Just told me to stop saying love to them. And I found out the reason why they said that. Because see, I showed the compassion. I could have sat there and shut them down and say, well, I don't care what you think. It's love. I'm moving on. See, I could have did that. But then I wouldn't have really found out why they didn't want to hear the word love. And I found out that they were broken in certain places as they were growing up, and people used the word love in the wrong aspect. They had the wrong motive behind the word love when they heard love.
Yeah.
So it's so important. Ooh, almost tearing up now because every time I think about it, it hurts so much that they had to go through that, and that love was a weapon for them and not the compassionate part of it. So that's why. See, now you see why I'm bringing this, and I'm really headstrong on it because that really started me with this whole thing saying, no matter what, we have to show love. Not just show love, but show love in the right manner and the right motive. Anybody want to add to that real quickly before we move forward?
This is perfect because you're talking about love beyond words and not just compassion, but the actions, showing the actions. Actions speak louder than the words anyway. So why wouldn't we want to be present, be there to really have people embody the context of love by being in ourselves.
Yeah. And like you said, Karen, that's why I picked all the people on this panel because they all show up in love all the time to me. Even if they're having a bad day, they still show up in love. And that's what we have to do. I think we're little leaders, like you said, we're little servants out here that we have to put that out there so people can see the real true, not just saying the words, like you said, Karen, like Karen said, but having the action behind it.
Actually, be what you want others to see out there in the world.
There you go. There you go. There you go. So with that, we are going to move into another wonderful production Tamara Hunter created. I Can See It. And this is, please take this in. It's something that, we just want really people to know that they can see themselves in themselves and just love on you. So here we go.
Our past brought us here. Today is ours to live. And tomorrow, well, I can see it. Can you? It's time. I can see it now.
I see it, I breathe it, I see it now.
I can see it now, I can feel it start. Every quiet picture lighting up my heart. Quiet moments, paper dreams, scattered colors, hopes unseen.
Every picture, every word whispers something I have heard. It's not wishing, it's not pretend, it's a story I'm stepping in. I don't have to know the how, I just feel it starting now.
I can see it now, coming into view. What I hold inside my heart is already coming true. I can feel it rise when I slow it down. What I choose to see today is becoming me. Yeah, I can see it now. Small intentions, open hands, trusting more than perfect plans. Every day I take one step toward the life I haven't met. I believe before it shows, that's how every miracle grows.
I don't force it, I allow. I can feel it starting now.
I can see it now, clearer every day. Every image, every dream is lighting up the way. I can feel it rise when I slow it down. What I choose to see today is becoming me. Yeah, I can see it now. See it, feel it, hold it true. What you focus on finds you. Breathe it in, let it stay. The future's meeting you halfway. I can see it now, calling out my name. Every little moment, adding to the flame. I can feel it rise when I slow it down. What I choose to see today is becoming me. Yeah, I can see it now. See it, I breathe it. I see it, I breathe it. I see it, I breathe it. I see it.
Take a moment to see your own future. Dream it, feel it, and know you can see it now.
Okay, this, yeah, I forgot my tissue. Why did I do that? These are just so, this just reminds us. Hopefully it reminds us of the love and compassion that we need to carry out in this world, and seeing it in your own life, seeing that you can see further beyond is so important. So what I want to do is bring in Raquel, because she has been doing a lot of interesting things in her lives, and she always puts her faith first, and that's when everything else resolves. So I want her to talk a little bit, or even some other maybe experiences that she has regarding that, Raquel, because I really honor you when you do that in your life.
Oh, thank you so much. I love you and everything that you do. I'm a great fan of you as well. And I was thinking about the topic, and what was coming to mind is, like, the best-selling book in the world tells us to love God with everything we are, and the second one is to love our neighbor. And people stop there, but there's the power in that is in loving our neighbor as ourselves. And a lot of times, in a lot of circles, we're not really told that self-love is sacred. Self-love was God's idea. Self-love is a holy and righteous act that is necessary in order for us to connect with other people, to have compassion, to have empathy, because the way we are loving ourselves, judging ourselves, going through those motions, it ends up spilling over. So we need to have those pauses of, like, what am I doing to love myself? The boundaries, the standards, the values, all those things are part of our self-love package. So, there's this, a huge movement around that for a long period of time. And it's because it's so necessary to pause and be like, how am I loving myself? And we're finding yourself, everybody gets frustrated. Everybody has a moment, right? No one's 100%. But, when you're having, it's like, wow, okay, how can I get back to loving myself? Because we want to love people from the overflow. So that way, when they're connecting with us, they're having living water and not bitter water. So that's what I wanted to bring to the conversation around that. Having compassion for yourself, because it is sacred.
Yeah.
Awesome. I want to be for the other queens, because I know they have some things to add, but I wanted to ask you another question, Raquel, because it was something in the song which really came to me, the word where it said, don't force it, allow it. And I thought about you with that when I heard that part of it, because you everything you do, that's why I always watch you. I always like, oh, I love you, queen, because you don't force that. You just let things just flow, and it just kind of just comes together. Can you kind of just talk a little bit about that real quickly, of how you just let your life do that? That's awesome.
Yeah, I had to learn the hard way. And, one point I tried to take my own life 4 different times. I was in the process of taking it when I was supernaturally stopped. And so in that, I started to learn about why my body was doing certain things and thinking certain ways, and how I had allowed open doors through my thought process. I'm a high achiever, like all you ladies are, and most of the people here are. So we're always doing. And I had to learn to slow down. And I even, in the slowing down, is finding, like, oh, when you find that rhythm, then you actually do less and you produce more because you are enjoying, what you're doing and finding the fun. And it's like, okay, the more fun you have, the more money you're going to make. But the more fun you have, everything else just flows from that. And it's like, okay, you have to be an adult and not, worry. It's not about fun. I'm like, oh no, it's about fun. It's about fun and creativity. And if you are not having fun in what you're doing, something is wrong. There is some kind of fundamental thing. You should be enjoying it at some kind of level. And when you're not having enjoyment, there's something off, because enjoyment is a gift. Joy is a fruit of the spirit. It's just a spiritual life. So if you're not having joy in what you're doing, it's like pausing, right? Going back to what Karen was saying, and observe but don't judge. Just don't judge yourself. Observe what's going on, and that's how I'm able to produce so many things, because I've created that rhythm of rest, of fun, and then out of that, the overflow is the doing.
Yes. So true. Oh, love it, love it, love it, love it. So it all starts with you. I mean, when you really think about it, I always tell people, with the love and compassion and everything we're talking about, it always has to start with you first, because you can't give what you don't have. You can't give the compassion what you don't have, right? So with that, I want to go right into where everything leads here, because we have what we call Chemo Buddy for Life, a group here that we basically, Tamara L. Hunter created for people that needed a buddy when they were going through their journey through cancer. And she has compassion because she went through it herself. So she created a movement, she created a group, she created this empire, and all roads lead to that. So I want to make sure that people understand that by this video, and we'll be right back.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been shown that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
Share this with your friends and family and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a Chemo Buddy for Life.
We are a Buddies Network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are Chemo Buddies for Life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
Every time I hear that, that's been years ago, and I'm still like, I am a Chemo Buddy for Life. And I will always be. So every time I hear that, I say, okay, that remind you, Barbara, you put that out there. So words are powerful, and see how powerful words are, how things can come from that little place to be a big, huge thing to help so many people, because that's where love and compassion comes from. And that's how you build from that, if you're building from the right motive. So with that, I want to also take some time, because we have a wonderful senior volunteer that we had in our Chemo Buddy world. That's now, she gained her wings a long time ago. So we just want to just put a quick Purple Hearts Club, because that's what it's named after, so we can remind ourselves how much she showed a love to us through this community. And we'll be right back. And you know what I really love about that is that, the legacy starts with love. So any kind of legacy that you're building, anybody that you're talking to, anybody that you're trying to help, any project you're on, even in business, you got to show love. Some people be like, well, it's business, so you got to be a different way. No, Start with love and compassion. Believe me, it might work out better that way instead of just being so rough about it. So it all has to, it's like it's that little, when you're sewing something, you got to sew, let that needle and thread be love and compassion. And you sewing it together. So we're all, coming with the same thing. So with that said, we got to play Barbara and hear what she has to say about it. We'll be right back.
Choosing kindness. Kindness is one of the fruits of the Spirit. And I believe that when we choose to lead a conversation or a dialogue or be in a relationship and have kindness within it, then that makes real dialogue possible because people tend to relax and be open to what you're saying and to the atmosphere in that room. Also, though, I believe that we need to stay present within that dialogue, within that conversation, in that room, even when it starts to feel a little uncomfortable. Because that's where relationship starts. So I just encourage you today to lead with kindness, stay present, and have a great day.
Wow, it's interesting how Karen was talking about the presence of part. Now Barbara's talking about it, and they didn't even hear each other's video. they didn't have a clue. See how things just come together when we're all on the same point. Did people get that? Did people get that? Okay. Anyway, Barbara, I'm going to bring you to the middle because I know you have some other things to add.
Yeah, being present is, and I so notice it because I work with the public. Anytime you're in a public space, and it's like the people that take time to be present, it's a much different conversation than somebody who's doing that. You're looking down or looking around or doing something because one of the things I think that every interaction that we have can either widen the divide or it can build a bridge. And that choice in any moment is ours. So do we want to build bridges or do we want to cause divides? And being present, I think, is one of the biggest things towards building the bridges rather than the divide. People want to know that they're seen and heard and valued.
Ooh, yeah. Somebody else want to add? That's cool. Oh, I love that. Anybody else want to add to that?
Oh, I love that. I love that, Barbara. Thank you. It's so interesting that you say that because we're all connected, right? You mentioned we came from presence and we came from kindness is also a space of non-judgment. It's learning to be empathetic and get into another's world. Okay? We don't know what they've come through, what they're going through, or what they're about. And when we sit there and judge, the love and hate can't be in the same vibration at the same time. Thus, if you're sitting there judging, you might as well be hating and not giving all of yourself. You might as well not be present. So absolutely, coming from a kind, compassionate heart is really going to lead forward and get you further in life as well.
Yes.
Like attracts like.
Like attracts like.
And just like in, scripture said, love is kind. And so where we are leading with kindness and we're leading with love. And I love what Carl, when you said about self-love, because, we do have to be filled. We have to take that moment to be filled so we can always give from the overflow. But the small gestures is everything. And we talk about building a bridge. It's like meeting people where they are, not judging them, not just seeing them for what they are, face value, but just being open, having an open heart, open mind, and just small gestures of acts of kindness is something that goes a long way.
Yeah, what came to mind for me was that anybody can be nice in the moment and it can be manipulative or dismissive, but kindness is intentional. You have to slow down enough to connect with the person, to be kind, to see them. And from my worldview as an image, they're an image of God, they're reflecting that. And so being able to intentionally do something or even in the not doing also kindness, right? Maybe they just need you to sit down and not say anything just, like sit down and cry with me, or sit down and laugh with me, or just sit down and hold my hand and just be silent. Kindness is intentional. And I think that's what really makes a difference, because it is showing compassion. It is showing all those things that we're talking about today, slowing down enough to be intentional and do something in that what would seem as kind or nice, because nice anybody can do, but kindness is intentional.
Yes. Yes, definitely. I thought Barbara was saying something. I seen her, and I was like, okay, let me catch
Totally
it.
agreeing. Totally agreeing.
But I was just thinking about the bridge. Barbara talked about what kind of bridge are you going to make? What kind of bridge are you going to do for somebody? And I go back to my story earlier, if some people didn't hear it, about the two ladies that I was with and I was communicating with, and they told me not to say the word love to them because of the brokenness that came from that word. I didn't want to leave that conversation them broken still.
Right.
I didn't want to leave that conversation and feeling that way about L.O.V.E, because that's not what it's about. And I'm like, then I don't want them going through this world anymore thinking that, okay, it's all about the bad modes that somebody put in their life. So I had to show, as we just talked about, showing the kindness, being the lead on that, doing the action on it. And that's what we're all doing today. So when I show the action to them and I say, you know what? You might think I'm crazy right now. I just put it out there. I put a disclaimer with all of them. I said, but we're going to stay here until I explain to you, until I show you myself, to separate that motive that people had for you about love, because it's not about that at all. And one of them was kind of, the other one, she was taking it in. It took some time. And that's what we talk about, time. Let people have time to be in the present. Let people have time to think it through. So with that said, thank you so much for each and every one of you, always showing love and compassion, everything you do. And it comes easy. It comes so easy. It's just a part of us, right? Anybody else want to add to that?
Yeah, for me, it becomes a way of being, and it's a choice we make when we make the decision. And if you take the word, right, word creates reality. If you take the word decision, it's cutting, it's letting go of the old and deciding right here and now that this is who I'm going to be. I started the show with, I am love. Well, I made the decision that that's how I'm going to be. It's a becoming. I live it, I breathe it, I embody it. That's how I'm able to show up the way I do for others in that space of love and compassion.
Yes, thank you. And anybody else want to add?
I think too, it's just lead with our humanity. We're all human.
Yeah.
We've all made mistakes. We've
Absolutely.
all felt shame and, how could I have done that or not done that or whatever it was? But people need to hear that too. Lead with our humanity. Where are we coming from? And just, yeah.
And I would add, just always being genuine and using that intentionality to be genuine and authentic. Even gathering our own selves, because we're not perfect, but we strive to live a perfect life. We strive to live perfectly through love. And it's not always easy when we have hearts the way we have hearts, it's just natural for us. But it's also coming from a place of always putting ourselves to the side, honoring ourselves, but also understanding and knowing that others are needed, our love just as much. And so, I always say just be genuine and just be intentional with how you lead with love.
Yes, definitely.
Beautiful.
Definitely.
Yeah. And sometimes that love comes out a little spicy. Yes. And it's okay. It's like sometimes, it's a little spicy, might be a little different than how you normally talk, but some clarity is power. Clarity is kindness as well. And sometimes when you're speaking the truth in love, you're going to say it in a way that somebody else they're not going to like it. And it's like, okay, you need to say what you have to say the way it's coming out and leave their feelings to God. I tend to be very soft, and every once in a while it gets a little spicy. Like, wait a minute, but then it goes back to that self-love. So if you have that moment where you're like, maybe I shouldn't have said it that way. We can always say things better, but there are times where it might have to come out a little spicy because it needs to cut through the noise of that conversation. So be okay with it. And if they really love you, when they want to be in a relationship with you, they'll be like, yeah, I know you said it from a place of love. So if you have to say it's spicy, it's okay. That's part of love too.
Oh
Or
my
sometimes
God, I
it has
love
to
it.
be a little firm. Has to be a little firm. Like when I tell people, no is a complete sentence. Once in a while, if somebody's asking you to do something and you really don't feel called to do it, no is a complete sentence. And you can say it with kindness and compassion and with presence, but you can still say no. So, yeah.
You know, I really love the spicy. I'm going to use that. Say a little spicy. But you know, even Barbara and Raquel said that the thing of it is when people, because I get spice all the time, sometimes I get a little bit, firmness. But think about this, a person wouldn't take the extra time to do that if they didn't love you.
Right.
And my mother used to tell me that all the time because I had a kind of wonderful, different relationship with her. And I was like, Dad, she's always down on me. She's always telling me this. I'd be like that when I'm a teenager and stuff. And then one day she just said, well, I wouldn't waste my time if I didn't love you. She was hardcore. Let's just say that she took it straight out the box. And, at that time I was like, because I was in my feelings and I was young and I was like, okay, whatever. But now that I'm older, I get exactly what she was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to take the time with you if they love and cherish you and want you to grow and want to see you because they see things sometimes that you don't see. So
Absolutely.
take that spiciness, take that firmness, and know that people love you. So with that, with our time, I want to make sure each panelist has some lasting thoughts for today about love beyond words. And I hope everybody's been enjoying this conversation because, like I said, this is needed right now in this world forever and ever and ever. This is never going to stop. Love never stops. Love has to continue on. So we do the 30-second game if people know me. So they get 30 seconds to say what they have to say. If they're talking a little longer, I have to take them out the box. So we'll start with Karen.
So first and foremost, many people forget that the 10 commandments were there to guide us as a guidepost for bringing us back to love. Begins and ends with self-love, love yourself first, foremost, and give from the overflow.
Mm-hmm. I think this all comes, Barbara Beckley has heard me say this so many times. Find that place within you that makes your heart sing. And come from that space. Come from that space. Because when we are so full that our heart is singing with whatever it is, that's good. That's exactly what Karen just said. It's going to come out in the overflow because you can't help it because your heart is singing and you just want to share the song with everybody else around you. And do it with kindness and compassion and joy.
Yeah.
The thought I had was none of us are going to get out of here alive. For goodness sakes, just go out and have some fun and don't take yourself or everything else so seriously. Yes, some things are serious. We have to adult. Go out and have some fun. And then when you do, your life would just automatically become so much better.
Wow.
There's a scripture that also says, guard your heart with all diligence, but be open enough to still love everyone around you and give that love. Self-love, guarding your heart, but also showing love as well. So you got to have it balanced and twofold.
Amazing, amazing. So I just want to remind everybody, if you never heard that word love, if you had some contemplation about love, if you feel like you're not loved today, know that this panel, we're starting off with you and Tamara and Hunter and everybody else loves you right now. I have to leave with that because I want people to hear the right way how to love instead of the wrong way. So with that, thank you, panelists, for coming on and talking about my favorite subject of all times, love beyond words. And we will see you next week, next Sunday, with the wonderful topic and show. But as we always say, let's talk fabulous. And remember, always show the love.